Ohio Valley ARES Racing Net. My name is Jim. This net will be held each Thursday evening at 8:30 p.m. local time. Is for the purpose of testing equipment for emergency use, exchange of ideas, and to promote the use of amateur radio in emergency. Although this is an ARES racing net, all amateurs are invited to participate in this evening's net. I'll now take check-ins from anywhere. Please call now, state your call and first name. This is Net Control, TVO.
DKB from Ayrton, Keith.
Good evening, Jim. KN4IMU, Michael.
B8NYN, Dave and Ironton. Check me in and out.
B8YKS, Mike in Chesapeake.
Okay, let's go back up here, and I'll recognize Keith, N8DKB, and Michael, KN4IMU, Dave, KD8NYN. Have you in and out, Dave? Thank you for checking in. Have a good evening. Then we have Mike, WB8YKS. Any further check-in for this evening's net?
Whiskey 3, Whiskey Victor Alpha, Greg in Spring Valley.
Greg, give me your call one more time, with if you will, please.
Yeah, certainly. Whiskey 3, Whiskey Victor Alpha, W3 WVA.
All right, thank you, W3 WVA. Greg. Okay, further check-ins. Let's go back up. We'll pick up a few more here in a minute. Let's go back up to N8DKB. Keith, how you doing?
Good evening, Jim, and everyone else on the net. Doing pretty good this evening. Took it easy today. Enjoyed this pretty day. A little bit cool, but man, it sure was nice and sunny. Even dusted off the barbecue grill. So it's been a pretty good day. Other than that, though, pretty subsonic. So I'll turn it back over to Net Control. N8DKB.
All right, well, you better enjoy the grilling and everything early this year, because in May into June, when we have the 17-year locust this year. All right. Move on, okay? Before I...
Good evening, Jim. Everyone else on the net. Nothing really going on here. Just enjoying my day off. That's about it. Nothing else to report at the moment. So I'll turn it back to Net Control. KN4IMU.
All right, Michael. Them days off kind of go by pretty fast here. I can remember how it was when I was working. So enjoy what you have left today. All right, let's go down here to WB8YKS. Michael, how you doing?
Good evening, Jim. Good to hear you out there and everybody else on the net. Things going pretty good. Weather was fantastic today and yesterday. I had a chance to get out a little bit, clean up around the house, and get the limbs and some of those things that the storm left behind. I did a first aid bandage on a tree limb. It had split, so I put a coupler on it and tried to tie it up, try to save it. And just a lot of things happening. We did see the Ohio National Guard. They were here on our county road doing some cleanup work where all the limbs had been in the ditch lines and water was passing over onto the roadway. And did an outstanding job. So really good to see those folks out and about and helping the community. But a lot of folks experiencing the heavy rain there the past few days here, and of course, I guess the Ohio River now has crested, so hopefully will be some recovery there as well. But still, a lot of issues left behind. So I hope everybody else is doing well, staying dry, and hopefully everybody's had an opportunity to get their shot or soon will for the vaccine. So with that, Jim, I'm going to turn it back to you. Doing a great job as always. Good to hear you out there. WB8YKS, Mike in Chesapeake. Back to net.
W8SOE, the SOARA 715 repeater.
All right, Michael. Well, like I said, I've seen some here lately that said that second shot they're having a reaction about a week later, so I got another day to go and I'll have my weekend, so I hope that goes well. All right, let's get down here to Greg. WVA, how you doing?
Well, good evening, Jim. Thanks for doing the net, and everybody else that's on the net. I'm doing fine. It's a little less soggy today, but I still haven't had a chance to go back up into the war zone, which is otherwise known as my backyard. I've had a lot of large trees fall, 50, 60-foot trees in my backyard. And everybody knows how I've been whining about how it's destroyed my dipole, and I have to get another one. But I've also got a couple of those big widowmakers that just got stuck up in the tree about 30, 40 feet. They're probably 8 inches in diameter, just wiggling and wafting in the wind. I was hoping that maybe some of the wind today would knock them down for me. I'm almost scared to go back up there and, clean it up. But I do have a question. I have to spend money I don't have to replace this antenna, so I was thinking about spending even more money, and after being without power for such a long time, I thought maybe now would be a good time to get a solar array and a battery. I was looking at one of those amorphous ones for around $150 at Harbor Freight, and then I asked the net Portsmouth Radio Club, Traders Night net here just a little while ago, if they had any thoughts, and I had a couple of referrals, but I was just wondering if anybody knew if there was something that was comparable in price to what they sell at Harbor Freight for about $160, and any recommendations on a battery. I'm open, and if nothing but silence, that's fine too. I've got a little bit to go on to do some research, but any suggestions or anything would be well taken, and thank you very much in advance. W3WVA, back to net control.
Hi, Greg. All right, do we have anybody that's in so far that want to comment on Greg's battery and help him out if you can?
WB8YKS. Greg, go to, if you have pen and paper there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, ready and ready.
Okay, go to Jackery, and that's JACKERY.com. And that is Jackery, JACKERY.com. They have portable power supplies. They got several different ones. It's really high-end stuff, but reasonably priced for what you can get. And you can buy something there to meet your needs. Great power supply for what you need. I'm looking at one myself. It's the 240, the one I'm looking at, but there's some that's less expensive, some a little bit more. But it's great backup, and it also accommodates a separate solar panel. And it's already built in. You don't have to have an extra battery. You don't have to have some other kind of component to work with it. You just plug it in, and it's ready to go to charge it. So take a peek at that. It may be helpful for what you're trying to do. So I'll turn it back to net control. If you have any questions or fills, let me know. WB8YKS, back to net.
All right, Greg. Did that answer any of your questions there?
Yeah, Mike, I appreciate the information. Jackery.com, JACKERY.com, and I'll be looking around on that website. Hopefully it's within my constraints of my wallet, even though I'm plopping money on a card that I can't afford anyway. But yes, I thank you for the source, and I will definitely look into it as soon as the net's over with. Back to net control, Jim. W3WVA in Spring Valley.
Recheck there, Greg. That is also made by Honda, so it's a great piece of equipment. I think you'd be satisfied. WB8YKS, back to net.
All right. I don't know if it's me or just where the repeater's linked up or on the other word, so it drops out there. But let's see if we have anybody else we can check in this evening's net. This is Net Control, N8TVO. Any further check-ins or anybody additional comments or anybody I may have missed?
And for MU recheck.
Go ahead, Mike.
I think I forgot to mention the USB plug for the UHF link radio up there at the 715 came in, so I'm going to try and set it up this weekend so we can try and link the 625 in and see how it works for a little bit, so we can get a dedicated interface over there. So wanted to pass that along. May try and get it linked up for next week's net. Back to you, Jim.
All right, Mike, I switched over to 7150. I'm still getting in there. Do we have any further check-ins before we close the net? One last call for any late stations. All right, there being no further business, I'll now close this session of Ohio Valley ARES Racing Net till next Thursday at 8:30 p.m. or until such time an emergency dictates the need. Thanks to those who participated. We now turn this repeater back to normal amateur use. This is Net Control, N8TVO clear.